Hello, my fellow photographers. I am Kita of Kita Explorer Photography, and I'm here for another video to help you, as a beginner photographer, get better at your photos. So today we're going to talk about photography composition tips. I'm going to go over 6 photo composition tips to help you when you take photos in the future and beyond. So let's get into today's video. And before we do, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and a notification bell. It is free for you to do so. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Now let's get into today's video. So the first basic tip that I have is to use the rule of thirds. This is a very simple tip and very easy for you to implement into your photos to compose them properly. So when you use the rule of thirds, you're going to break up your frame into 9 different quadrants, equal quadrants. So 3 rows, 3 columns, and you're going to base your photo on those lines, on those splits. So dividing the frame evenly, make sure you can put subjects and things in place in those certain division, in those certain areas and squares of your photo. Now that brings me to the second tip, to make sure you stay balanced. Staying balanced means to use your negative space or that empty space in your photo properly. So you don't want to have a full photo unless you're doing something artistically, right? You don't want to have a full photo and everything is compressed in this one corner and the rest of the photo is just not aesthetically pleasing. So you want to make sure you have the right aesthetics in your photo and using your negative space properly. Next up, make sure you pay attention to your background. So obviously you might have a wonderful subject, whether it's a person, an animal, whatever it may be. But if your background is very distracting or it clashes with your subject, your photo is not going to be composed to the best it could be. So for instance, say you are photographing a person outside and there's these really small branches. It looks like it's coming out of someone's head. It looks like they have antennas. You might enjoy that, or it might not really look pleasing because it looks like antlers are coming out because you can't even tell it's a tree behind the person. Or the colors in the background could just be very awful. It just could be clashing with what the person is wearing or whatever. So make sure you pay attention to that background to make sure you are shooting and including what you want to include and what you don't want to include. So the next tip is you want to turn your photos back into 3D. So when you're taking photos on your camera, really the camera is taking your photos from a 3D situation, right, to a 2D, two-dimensional situation. So in order to transfer that back into 3D, so when a person is viewing your photo, is to use simple things like leading lines or depth of field. When you have leading lines, it really looks like it's telling a story. So maybe someone is reaching out and at the camera, and you have this entire line coming from my hand all the way up to my face. That is leading into a story. It's causing the photo to bring another dimension into the photo. And then to add to that, you want to use depth of field. And that's when you really close your aperture hole and make it small enough so you bring in more light into your camera, but you're making it a shallow depth of field to blur out things. So you're going to be blurring the background or blurring out people, which means there's a different stage, there's a different dimension behind or in front of that subject. So using those different things brings a lot into your story and your photo and the composition of the photo. Another great tip for composing your photos is to try different angles, because you never know which angle you may be in that might be the best for your photo. Some angles may surprise you. Yes, obviously you want to take photos head on if you're taking a photo of a person, but you never know, you might be able to get up on a ladder up above and take a photo downward. It's going to tell a completely different story and maybe your favorite photo. You could take a picture from down below, off to the side. Try different angles, different positions, because you just never know what may come out best. I actually saw this photo, and I've seen this a lot on the internet, of like the wildebeest crossing or the migration of the wildebeest. So obviously you can be down on land level with the wildebeest and you're going to see, a lot of them in your photo, but you could also take photos from high up above, right? And when you do that, you can see the masses of wildebeest migrating, and it gives a completely different story than what you had down on land. And the last tip I want to share with you for composing your photos is framing or cropping your photos. So obviously you're going to do your best to frame your photo while you're taking the actual subject, when you're out in the field taking that photo. But you may get back in post-production and you're looking at that photo in whatever editing software that you use, such as Lightroom, Photoshop, or whatever. It could be a non-Adobe product. You might be like, hey, if I close this frame in more and just capture the person's face, so like I get closer here, it brings a different look to the photo than me being back here, right? If you look at that and you're like, I really would prefer for this to be up close, cropping some other things out, crop it, and you change the whole composition of the photo just from doing a simple crop in post-production. All right, my fellow photographers, so this was a quick video on giving you 6 tips on how to make your photos better with composition. So 6 photo composition tips for you. So let's recap those 6 tips. So first of all, you have the rule of thirds. Second, you want to make sure you stay balanced. Third, you want to make sure you pay attention to your background. 4, turn your photos back into 3D with leading lines and depth of field. 5, try switching up your viewpoint. And finally, 6, frame and crop your photos. So I hope these 6 tips will help you when you go out into your future photo shoots and really providing some different types of composition for your photos. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. It is free for you to do so and helps me provide more and better content to you in the future. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments about this video, leave them down below in the comment box, but keep it classy. Make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and social media networks, because you never know who may be interested in improving their photography skills. And if you would love to support my small business even further, you can book an appointment with me if you're in the Atlanta area for a photo shoot by emailing me at info@ketoexplorer.com, or you can check out my print shop at ketoexplorer.darkroom.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are. Bye.